Hello everyone, this is Class 8, English 2, Chapter number 12, The Bishop's Candlesticks. This is a drama and this play is written by Norman Mckinnel. As it is a play, so there are characters, Bishop, person who is the Bishop's sister, Convict, Sergeant of Gendarmes, and a few policemen. And the setting is the kitchen of the Bishop's cottage in a French village. At the beginning of the 19th century, late one night, the Bishop is sitting at his kitchen table, reading by candlelight. The candles are placed in two beautiful silver candlesticks, which are in the center of the table. Now the scene starts. Scene 1. Enter the convict with a knife. Convict. Holding knife to Bishop's throat, he says, "Scream and I'll kill you." Bishop. My friend, please, why should I scream? Can I help you in some way? Convict. Food, I am starving. I haven't eaten for 3 days. Scene 1 begins with the Bishop sitting at the table and a convict have a knife at his throat, and he's saying that he has not eaten for 3 days, so he wanted food. Convict means a person who has been found guilty of a crime. So you can see the picture and understand who is the convict. The person who is wearing black color cloth is the convict, and he has a knife at the throat of the Bishop. Bishop. Come, my friend. There is nothing to fear. My sister and I are alone in this house. Let me call her. She has the keys to the cupboard. Without those, I cannot feed you. Convict nods, means he agrees. Bishop calls out, Persum. Persum is Bishop's sister. Persum from the room. Yes, brother. Bishop. There is a poor traveller here, hungry for a meal. Could you come down and unlock the cupboard? Persum from her room. At this time of the night, are we now to lose our sleep for your charity cases too? Bishop. Please, sister, he is hungry. Enter Persum. Persum whispers, Brother, he looks like some wild animal. Convict. Hurry, or I'll stab both of you and help myself. Persum hands the Bishop her cupboard keys. Bishop, calmly. Here, some cold pie, bread, and a drink. You already have a knife. Shall I bring you a fork? Convict. No need. We use no forks in prison. Persum, shocked. Prison? Convict. Gobbling down food like an animal. Why are your windows and doors left unlocked, old man? Anybody could walk in. Bishop. That is precisely the idea, my son. Convict. Narrowing his eyes. Who are you? Bishop. I am a bishop. Convict. Laughing. A man of God. Ha! Bishop. Persum, can you go back to your bed now? My friend here would be more comfortable speaking to me alone, I think. Convict continued laughing and mocking God. Reluctantly, Persum leaves. Convict. Do you know what I am, old man? When the convict tried to harm the Bishop, Bishop told the convict not to be worried. He said that keys of the cupboard are with his sister Persum, who is sleeping in one of the rooms. Bishop asked permission from Convict to call person down so that he can get the keys of the cupboard and give something to eat to the convict. Convict allows him. Person comes down angrily and saying that at such night how anybody can come in, and because of the charity of this bishop they have to lose their sleep also. But bishop tells her not to say such things and just to give the keys. Person gives the keys and then reluctantly but she had to leave as bishop wanted her to leave the place so that bishop and this convict can talk to each other. When the convict came to know that the person was a bishop, he started laughing at him as well as name of God. The convict had asked Bishop who he was. Then Bishop answered him, one who has suffered terribly, I think. Convict. That was in the beginning when I was still human. I have been living in hell for 10 years now. But why should I tell you? You will simply go and set the police on me. Bishop, I won't. I will not tell the police. Convict, I do not know why, but I believe you. Bishop, placing his hand on convict, tell me about this hell. Convict, I used to be normal, human. I lived in a pretty cottage not unlike yours. I had a wife whom I loved very much, but she fell sick, you see. We had no money and no food, so I stole. I had to. She would die without at least a piece of bread. But I got caught, and when I did, I begged to be released. I told them why I had to steal, but they merely laughed. I was sentenced to prison for 10 years. 10 years in hell. The night I was sentenced, my wife died. Convict begins to sob. Bishop was so polite to the convict that convict started telling his story to the bishop. He told that once he was a normal human like all of us. He used to live in a cottage and he had a wife. He loved his wife, but once, as his wife was sick, he had to steal bread because he had no money or no food. And for that reason, he was sentenced to prison for 10 years. So, for 10 years, he was there in a prison, in a jail. Narrating his story, the convict started to sob. Sob means to cry with sharp breaths. In Hindi, we can say sisakna. The convict continues his story. I was chained up like some wild animal. We are all beaten there, fed filth, covered in filth. For 10 years I suffered. They took away my name and they took away my soul. One day they forgot to chain me up. And simple as that, I escaped. That was 6 weeks ago. Now I am free. Well, free to starve. Bishop, to starve? Convict. At least they feed you in hell. Here I am being hunted. I have no passport, no money. I sleep in the woods and on roadsides. Who will help a convict like me? I had to steal these rags I am wearing. And I had to steal to eat as well. They have turned me into the very thief they accused me of being. Bishop, you have suffered greatly, my son. But there is still hope for you. For now, however, lie down on that couch there. I will get you some blankets. Sleep here tonight and rest. Convict. What if someone finds me here? Bishop. No one will. Even if they do, aren't you my friend? Convict. Your friend? Bishop nodding. No one would harm the bishop's friend. Exit Bishop. Convict told Bishop how much he had to suffer in hell. Hell means jail. And by chance, one day he had escaped from there. And that was 6 weeks ago. After that, he was free, but he was starving. He had no home, he had no money, and no food to eat. So his life has become life of a thief, as he was accused of earlier when he was not a thief. But afterward, after coming back from jail, nobody is there to help him, and he had to live a life of a thief. Bishop tells him not to be worried and to take rest in a couch there. He tells him that Bishop is going to bring some blankets for him by the time he should lie down there. Convict to himself. The bishop's friend? He notices the bishop's candlesticks and picks them up. Convict. Silver, judging by their weight, they must be worth a fortune. Fortune here means money. Enter Bishop. Convict quickly drops one candlestick. Bishop. Ah, you have been admiring my candlesticks. They were a gift from my late mother who gave them to me on her deathbed, not long after my sister was born. She made me promise never to part with them. And how could I? Whenever I see them, I think of her. I must admit, I am very fond of them, even though they seem out of place in this poor cottage. The bishop and convict look at the candlesticks in silence. The convict with a smile, the bishop with a look of longing. Bishop. Now, your bed is ready. Would you like to sleep? Convict. Yes, yes, but look, why are you being so kind to me? What do you want from me? Bishop. Only for you have a good night's rest. Sleep, my friend. Bishop tells Convict that he was his friend and nobody would harm a bishop's friend. At this, Convict started thinking that how good this bishop is, how he had said a convict as his friend. As Bishop had gone to bring some blankets for him, by the time he noticed Bishop's candlesticks, they were silvered. He took them and he thought that they are very heavy and they must be of good price. Then Bishop returned back and he told the story about that candlestick. Bishop told him that the candlesticks were gifted by Bishop's mother when she was on the deathbed, very soon after birth of Bishop's sister. And also he said that he was very fond of them and he could not part with them ever. He loved them, and whenever the bishops see these candlesticks, he remember his mother. Both of them looks at the candlesticks. The convict looks at the candlesticks in silence with a smile. The smile behind which he was planning something. He was planning to take these candlesticks and run away from there. On the other hand, Bishop was looking at the candlesticks of longing. Longing means desire. He desired his mother. He was missing his mother, and whenever he looks at the candlesticks, he remembers her. Convict. I think I know what you want. You want to save me, save my soul. Well, don't bother. I want nothing to do with the church or your God. Bishop. That is a pity, my son. But please, For now, won't you just rest? Convict finally lies down. Exit Bishop. Convict to himself. I could start my life anew with those candlesticks. I am sure they are worth hundreds. The old man says he's quite fond of them. His mother gave them to him. He has been very kind to me. Wouldn't my fellow convicts laugh if they saw how soft I am being? Besides, if I wait around till morning, the old man will only begin his preaching again. No, I think I'll take these silver beauties and leave right now. Exit convict with the candlesticks hidden in his coat. As I told you that he was planning to take these candlesticks, he had taken all of them, both of them, and he escaped from Bishop's house. And here is the end of scene 1. Scene 2. Enter Person a minute later. Person. What was that noise? What are you banging my door at night? What? No one's here? Oh, the candlesticks. The candlesticks are gone. Shouting, Brother, brother, come out. Hurry, thief, thief. Enter Bishop. Bishop. What has happened here? Person. He's gone. The convict. He is gone and he has taken your candlesticks. Bishop. Close to tears. My candlesticks. Ah, it is a terrible thing. He could have left me those at least. Person. Go and tell the police. They will catch him soon and you will have your candlesticks back. Bishop. The fault is mine, sister. I led him into temptation. Softly. To send him back to prison? To send him back to hell? No, Person. This is a punishment I deserve. I was too proud of my candlesticks. I deserve this grief, though it is quite hard to bear. Person. You are wrong, brother. You might be bishop and the best man in all of France. But sometimes you are a fool. I will not allow this convict to take advantage of your kindness. I shall go to the police myself. Starts walking out. Bishop. Stop, Person. They belong to him now. He has more need of them than I. Person. But in scene 2, Person found that the candlesticks as well as the convict were missing from their house. She understood what had happened. So she started shouting to call Bishop and she told him that the convict had stolen the candlesticks. As a result, Bishop should go to police and complain about him. But Bishop was a generous man and he said that no, the convict needed the candlesticks more than him. That's why he should not go to police. Otherwise, the convict had to go to jail again and he could not do that. Then Person said that if Bishop would not go, then Person had to go to police herself and complain about the convict. Scene 3. Knock on the door. Sergeant. From outside. Monsignor, we have something for you. May we enter? Bishop. Come in, my son. Enter Sergeant, 3 policemen and convict with his hands tied. Sergeant carries the candlesticks. Person. Ah, so you have caught the thief. Sergeant. Yes, madam. We saw him sneak down the road a few minutes ago. He refused to tell us his name or where he was going, which seemed suspicious. Then, when we tried to place him under arrest, he fought us and he truly is very strong. As you can see, we did manage to catch him. These candlesticks fell out of his coat when we were binding his hands. I remember seeing them on the bishop's table, so we brought them directly here. Turning to the bishop, Monseigneur, if you could identify the man for us? Bishop, I don't understand. This gentleman is my good friend. Sergeant, your friend? Bishop, yes, my friend. You see, he dined here tonight. I had gifted him the candlesticks. Sergeant, surprised. Gave him? Him? Your candlesticks? Bishop, yes. Now, don't you think you should let him go? Sergeant, Monseigneur, I cannot. He won't tell me who he is or show me his papers. Bishop, he is your bishop's friend. Surely that is enough. Sergeant and bishop look at each other for some time. Neither speaks. Sergeant, let him go, men. Policemen untie their prisoner. Exit sergeant and policeman. Long silence as Possum and Convict stare at Bishop in amazement. Convict, softly to the Bishop. Why did you tell him you gave me the candlesticks? Possum shouts at Convict. You scoundrel! You rat! This is how you repay the man who helped you, by stealing from him. Bishop, please, Possum, you are tired. Go upstairs. Possum, and leave you alone with him. For what? To be robbed again, perhaps even murdered. Till here we see that a sergeant had come to Bishop's house. Sergeant means a police officer. And he told Bishop that he had found the thief. He had caught the convict and brought here. He said that as the convict was not telling his name, neither he shown his paper, so he had brought him to the bishop's house, as he found the candlesticks with him. And he remembered that these candlesticks belonged to the bishop. At this, the bishop replied that the man was his friend. He told Sergeant to leave him, as the candlesticks were not stolen by him, but Bishop had gifted this man his candlesticks. And listening to this, Sergeant were unable to tie him anymore. So, unwillingly, they had to leave the convict. And they went from there. The convict was amazed watching generosity of the bishop. Convict had stolen candlesticks of bishops. Even the bishop said that this convict was his friend and he has saved him from the police. Possum was very angry. She shouted at the convict, but Bishop told her to go away from there and take rest. And he wanted to talk to the convict alone. Bishop, strictly, Possum, leave us. And leave the candlesticks on the table, please. Possum looks shocked, then exits. Convict, guiltily. Monseigneur, I cannot explain it, but I am glad I could caught. Bishop, hush now. Won't you sleep? Your bed is ready. Convict, no, I could not. Besides, I must carry on. I need to reach Paris as soon as I can. It is a big city. No one will know who I am. There I can start a new life. Bishop, you are right, perhaps. It is safest to travel by night. Convict, I didn't believe there was any good in the world. One tends to forget that in hell. Yet I know you are good. I know it is a strange thing to ask, but would you bless me before I go? I think it might help me. Bishop murmurs blessing. Convict, crying, good night, runs toward the door. Bishop, wait, my son. You have forgotten your candlesticks. Convict, my? Bishop, they can help you. Please take them. Convict takes the candlesticks, looking amazed. Bishop, take the path through the woods. No one will see you there. Convict, crying, oh, thank you, Monseigneur. All these years I have been treated like a wild animal. I had forgotten what it was to be treated like a man. Bishop, never forget, my son, this body is the temple of the living God. Convict in awe. The temple of the living God, I will remember. Exit convict. Bishop kneels down to pray. The word Monseigneur is again and again used for the bishop. Monseigneur word is used for a highly respected person. Sergeant as well as the convict used this word for the bishop because he was really respect-worthy. He had shown his kindness to a convict. He had saved his life. At the end, when the convict found that he was very small in front of the kindness of the bishop, he felt guilty. The convict accepted his crime and also that he wanted to become a good man now. He said that I want to go to Paris as soon as possible. There nobody would recognize him and he could live a new life there. Bishop blessed him and also he gave his candlesticks. He says that the candlesticks belonged to the convict then. Convict was very much pleased as well as grateful to him. Before going, Bishop told him a sentence. Bishop told him to remember that our body is a temple of living God. So never to do anything wrong. And convict also remembered this sentence as he would follow it forever.